Hi guys, this video is going to be continuing our lesson on the foam objects. In the last set of videos that I made, I walked you guys through how to make the individual parts on of the foam objects. Okay, this is one that I didn't walk you guys through. I only walked you guys through an orange one and a blue one. This one will, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to take your part file that you made and then place it on a sheet and start dimensioning it. But before we can do that, we also need to create a title block. And a title block is just basically information that someone would need to know about the part that you made, and when it's on a piece of paper, they can actually see who made it, when it was made, when it's created, modified, a whole bunch of different details that you probably might not think of, but all of that information is needed in the title block, so that way if someone has questions, they know who to contact. So let's go ahead and start working on Inventor. So over here in Inventor, you guys can see that I have the orange part and the blue part previously created, and these are the two that I'm going to be working with. So if you guys have those open on your screen, that's great. I'm going to go ahead and open up the orange part so that way you know it's there and I can go back and forth between them. So you guys should have the orange part opened up too. Alright, so now that we are done with this part, we are going to create a sheet that we can then use from now until forever. So we're going to go up to New, click on New, and then usually when we come into New, we're right here on this tab, the ENUS tab, or file folder. And I want to go down to Standard IDW. Okay, and I'm just going to double click on Standard IDW. Now when this opens up, the size of the sheet that you see here is a really massive piece of paper. This is 36 inches wide by 24 inches tall. That's a huge piece of paper. For reference, if you look at your desks next to you here in my classroom, the blue mats that are on the tables, those are 36 by 24. So it's a big piece of paper, so we need to switch it over to an A size sheet. So I'm going to go right here to sheet 1, right click on it, and go to edit sheet. And then right here where it says size, I'm going to change that to an A size sheet and say OK. Now this right here, this is called the title block, and this is what we are going to be modifying and making our own. So I want you guys to come over here to the browser, right click on ANSI large and delete. We want to get rid of that so that way we don't see it. And now we're going to create our own title block. So next to the folder that says drawing resources, go ahead and click on the plus sign, and then this folder that says title blocks, right click on it and go to define new title block. Now when this opens up, you don't see anything changes here, but the information in the ribbon has changed. So the information here is, you know, it looks like a sketch, and that's basically what it is. So our title block is going to be simple. We're going to go to rectangle, and I just want to make a rectangle, just a simple random rectangle. And I want to then dimension this rectangle to be 4 inches wide and 1 inch tall. Oh, no, I typed in 4. I meant 1. Okay, so this rectangle is 4 by 1, and then I'm going to go ahead and divide this rectangle into fourths. So I'm going to click on line, going to hover over this line on the the left, and move all the way over to the right where it has the green dot. And then I'm going to do the same. Hover where I see the green dot, click, and go to the green dot on the bottom line. Okay, so this is our basic setup for a title block. Now we are going to go ahead and add text. So I want you guys to pay attention to how I am placing the text. I am not going to click and release, I'm going to click and drag. I want to make sure that I fill up the majority of this space right here. So this is where our name is going to go. So for me, I'm going to type in my first initial and then last name, all capitals. Okay, and then before I say okay, I'm going to click on center justify and middle justify, and this puts it right in the middle of our box. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here for this next rectangle, and this is going to be date. So I'm going to type in date, colon, and then hit enter. And one of the things that we can do with Inventor is Inventor will, since it's a parametric modeling system, it can update as we go, and it puts it, and we can have it put in automatic text. So I want you guys to go ahead and click right here, and the pull down menu, I want you to go to drawing properties, and then scroll down to creation date. The creation date is the date that the title block, or I'm sorry, not the title block, but the sheet that we're making is created. And then I'm just going to hit this little button over here that says add text parameter, and it puts that in. Highlight everything and make sure that it's middle justified and center justified. Okay. This next box here, we are just going to say this is going to be part name. Okay, and then the same thing. We're going to go right here to our automatic text, and we're going to say model properties because we want to get the name of the model, and we are just going to choose file name, and then hit enter, or this this button over here, the add text parameter. Highlight everything, middle and center justify. And then this last box all the way over here is going to be our scale. So we're going to type in scale, and we're going to go to sheet properties, and initial view scale is the first thing that pops up, and we're going to say okay, or add text parameters. Highlight everything, middle, center justify, and there we go. This is everything that you need for a title block here in my class. So once you have that, go ahead and click on Finish Sketch. It's going to ask you what you want to name it, and we want to name this. I'm going to put my initials, LA, and then title block. And it's called, and then click Save. Well, when I zoom out, nothing happens. So if we click on the little plus sign next to title block, we can double click on LA title block, and it pops in automatically. Now, when we start bringing objects in to start dimensioning, pay attention to what's happening right here with the title block. When I click on base, everything updates. The date updates, the part name updated, and the scale updated. So that's one of the cool things about putting that automatic text, is that we don't have to type it every single time we are laying out a drawing. So these parts are going to be rather big, so I want you guys to put it at a 1/4 scale, and then click OK. Now that's basically it, but I don't want to have these there, so go ahead and delete this, and yeah, let's delete it. Okay, I want to save this entire sheet as its own template, so that way every time we come in to Inventor, we don't have to make it all over again. So have a blank sheet just like this, and we're going to go to File up here, and then hover over Save As, and then click on Save Copy as Template. Okay, and my template is going to be called LA, my initials, title block, and then say Save. Now once you do that, when you go into, like, let's say if we want to make something new, and it's right there, when we open up ENUS, here is the title block that we just made. So we don't need to create a brand new title block every single time. It's right here for us. Okay. And that is basically setting up the title block on its own. Now we can go ahead and start dimensioning everything. So you're going to need a front view, a top view, and a right side view, and if you have the space, which you should, an isometric. Okay, and make sure that you guys give yourself plenty of space as you are working on this. You want to make sure that you have the space available for all of the dimensions that are necessary for this part. So as long as everything's properly spaced, you have a good distance from the bottom of the top or the front view to the bottom line, from the top line to the top of the front view. I'm sorry, top view. You just want to make sure that you have the space available for all of your dimensions. Now, as you guys start dimensioning this, it's just kind of easy. It's just clicking on different lines and moving it out. But the three main dimensions that you need for this is the overall height, which is 8, the overall width, which was 6, and we can put the overall depth either on the side view or the top view. But the side view has plenty of space for it to fit, so I'm just going to hover here and click and put that there. Okay, so you need at least these 3 dimensions, and you guys should be adding the rest. Okay, one more thing I want to cover with you are center lines. Whenever you have an object that has a circle or an arc, you do need to put center lines in. And center lines are relatively easy. You're just going to go up here to center mark, or you can choose center line, but center mark's the easiest. And then you're just going to click on the circular feature, and it puts the center line in for you. And you can do the same thing with center line, and this one might not be as easy, but we can either use center line or we can use center line bisector, and the bisector you have to choose 2 lines, and we can click on this and we can extend it over. And this center line is not all that great because it's a small view. The scale is small. So this is what we want to see as we are working on this. It is your responsibility to add dimensions to the top view, to the side view, and also, real quick, put a dimension in for the arc. Okay, so I've walked you guys through how to do part 6, orange. It is your responsibility to go ahead and do the other 9. Or if you've completed the 9 parts, then you do 9. If you've only completed 5, do the other 4 that you have completed. Okay, so when you start to want to add more sheets, you can just go back to place views and start new sketch. Click on new sheet, and then you can start adding your other parts. Okay, so I could go through all of my stuff and find it, but I think you guys should be able to do this on your own. Okay, so it's your responsibility to finish the other 9 parts or the other 4 parts, depending on how many you have done, and lay them out with dimensions on all 3 views, your top, your front, and your side view. If you guys have questions, please let me know, and I will come over and help you. And if you get stuck, if you get lost, raise your hand. But before you finish with everything and you're ready to close down Inventor, call me over so I can come and see it and actually give you a grade. If you guys need anything else, just ask. I hope you have fun with this.